What's up, everybody? Steph Martinez here. Nick Gambaro there. The Nick and Steph show is back after a 3-day hiatus. It feels like 60 years,
A little
but
bit.
we're back. We're back fire. All right. This is going to be a very eventful show for a number of reasons. Trouble percolating in Yankee land. Joe Douglas defending comments that he said the other day. Uh, Big Dogs Islanders getting annihilated in game one. But we'll get into all that. But since they say controversy creates cash, it brings in the ratings, it brings home the bacon, it does all those things. I have to ask, Big Dog, because you said there's something that you wanted to get off your chest. So without any further ado, please, let's dive into this because I'm very curious.
This is a conversation we've had really since we've been friends and, with our crew at WKRB. And, we still have it to this day. It just really gets on my nerves. I already know I'm going to get the rolling the eyes from you. I'm already going to get the comments. I'm already prepared for it. But whoever's watching right now, you just hear me out on this. And I know you're probably going to completely disagree with, all right, all good. But I've been saying this for a long time, but New York sports radio, like I grew up with it. I love it. I still listen to it. But I have a big beef with New York sports radio right now. And I really, really don't want to hear the excuse, well, the Islanders aren't that popular. Hockey isn't that popular, so it doesn't get ratings. People want to hear about other sports or other teams in the city. Look at what the Islanders are doing right now. How do you not start shows with them? How do you not give them more than 5 minutes of airtime to talk about? I understand, yes, the Yankees are the Yankees, and of course, now that they're spiraling out of control, everyone's, oh my God, the world's ending. Or when the Islanders right now, and they are the team in New York right now to talk about. They haven't gotten this far in 27 years. The Yankees, they are playing like garbage. Even you said it to me. You're a Yankee fan, as diehard as they come.
Mm-hmm.
And the Islanders are playing terrific hockey. All right, they got killed last night, but look, that was one game.
Mm-hmm.
Forget that one.
Mm-hmm.
But this whole playoff run, how are you not talking more Islanders? And I already know what I'm going to get, but it just bothers me. It ticks me off that they're not starting with Islanders every day. Because to me, you should start with the Islanders every day. That they've been playing, you should start with them. I don't want that. No, none of that. Right now, the Islanders are the best team in New York. Right now, the way they are playing. They are one round away from the Stanley Cup. Yankees, they ain't close to nothing, although they could get back to a playoff hunt. The Mets aren't playing great either. Football starting, so of course you're going to hear Jet Giant talk, even though, let's face it, they both stink. Let's just be honest. Basketball, the Nets are out. The Knicks aren't playing, The Islanders right now should be the team that everybody is talking about. And they're not. And, all right, they'll mention it a little bit here and there, but not enough for me. Not enough. They should get way more airtime, and it's really frustrating. It's really, really, really aggravating me to no end that we still do not get respect. And look, whatever. You don't want to talk hockey, you don't want to talk Islanders, whatever. But to me, it really gets on my very last nerve at this point.
What's up, Dougie? How you doing, man?
What's up, Doug? Exactly. That's the only, and yes, because it's a Long Island paper, but but the Islanders should be talked about more. I mean, in your opinion, and I know you're a Yankee fan, I know you're not a huge hockey fan, you love baseball, but from because you're the journalistic guy, I'm the fan guy, I'll throw it to you. People heard me rant now and give my little spiel. Right. Don't you think for more than 5 minutes or 10 minutes on a show, no matter what it is, I'm not naming a specific show, the Islanders should get more airtime, should be talked about more, should be covered in the newspapers more? No? Or am I wrong? Like, come on now.
Look. I'm not saying you're wrong, and I'm not saying I disagree with you. I think the Islanders need to get their fair share of, coverage. I think they deserve it. I think when you get to this point in the season and you're this close to a championship, you should get coverage. Here's the problem. Realistically speaking, you've talked to program directors. I've talked to program directors. We both went on this excursion before. Here's the problem. You're the third best. You're the third most popular team in the city's fourth most popular sport. Now, is it unfair that you're not getting coverage? Yes, it is unfair. I'll stipulate that, and I know we do it to bust each other's chops, and I get it. I get it's hard being a hockey fan. I get it's hard being an Islander fan. I get it. I get why you feel the frustration you feel, but this is the exact truth. They're not playing in New York City. They're playing on Long Island. Long Island is different than the coverage of the five boroughs. And yes, you're going to have your heavyweights like the Yankees, the Mets, the Giants, the Jets. When the Knicks are bad, the Knicks get more coverage than anybody in the city, and it shouldn't be that way. But I've always had this point of, emphasis that even when you're bad, you're going to get talked about more because you're bad. It's bad. It really is bad. And here's the thing. Ultimately, because that's what draws ratings. We like to commiserate. We like to be miserable. We like to say, oh, my team sucks. This is what people are drawn to. Is it fair to a team like you who are playing their absolute hearts out, trying to win a championship, that they don't get coverage? No, it's not fair. But that's just the reality of the situation. Would I like them to talk Islanders more? Yeah, I would, because you know why? We can stop having this argument amongst us right now, which is why we created this show, which is why I could give two craps about sports talk radio, because I'm doing my own talk show right here with you. We can develop whatever content we want to talk about whatever we want to. And this is the problem. They're going to tell you that they're in the business of ratings. They're in the business of doing what's best for them to make them the most money, which is why I stopped listening to sports talk radio. Because to me, it doesn't. All it does is perpetuate the stereotype that the sports that aren't talked about, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the general public if the Islanders win the cup. Because number one, they're on Long Island. There's not that big of a hockey presence in the city right now. And it sucks for you to say that, but this is why if I'm you, I don't get frustrated with talk radio. I just stop listening to it because I can give my opinion right here, and I don't need to hear what they say. You got your own eyes. You know the game of hockey better than some of the analysts they got sitting on these TV shows. All right? So why do you necessarily need to hear what the so-called experts want to say when the experts are going to talk about what they want to talk about, because that's what they're getting paid for. You feel what I'm saying? They're getting paid to cover football, to cover the Yankees in the tailspin, to cover the Mets being bad. That's what they're there for. So when I hear that, I hear your frustration. You're 1,000% correct. Here's the problem. You're just a fan, just like me. And granted, I have some connections that I'm blessed with, and people will pick up my phone call and answer my text message, and I'm eternally grateful for that. And I thank God for it every day. Here's the problem. But this is why this platform for me and you needs to be um where we're different, where we talk hockey, where we give the Islanders thank you, thank you, thank you. I agree. And this is why we created this show. So you can come on after a win or after a tough loss like last night and blow off steam for as long as you feel necessary about what it is your teams are doing right or what your teams are doing wrong. Like, I understand you're a fan of Sports Talk Radio, but this should be an eye opener for you where you should say, who needs Sports Talk Radio when I have my own thoughts, I have my own opinions, I have my own sets of values and beliefs.
Or podcasts nowadays.
Exactly.
So that's what I turn to, either podcast or Canadian radio, because they'll at least give hockey the time.
Yeah, but even then, even the reason why I don't like hearing that, and I want your opinion on this, because I don't want nobody else to formulate my opinion. Because what radio tends to do is they tend to drill these narratives in your head. Oh, they should be this way. They should be that way. That listen, I don't need a sports talk radio show to tell me that the Yankees suck. My eyes can do that for me.
It's just something that It's just something that I've always enjoyed. It's just a part of my growing up as a sports fan. I still enjoy it. It's real.
I don't. For the reasons you stated is why I don't like it. Because no, it doesn't give people a fair shake. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish the Islanders got more coverage than they get.
I just want them to have more coverage, get more attention, because they deserve it.
Right.
If they don't deserve it, different, but
right.
I still want Islanders to be talked about. But in a case like this, where you're one round away from a cup final,
there you go.
Listen, I've heard that. You told me that. Other people say that about being on Long Island. Okay, but they're still a local team. They're not far. It's not like they're far from New York City in general.
Right.
They deserve more coverage, and it's not fair. And there are a lot more Islander fans out there and hockey fans that people just want to look at or.
But that's why you have this platform to say whatever it is that you feel. Because you can sit here and say, A, let's have a conversation. B, let's talk about the Islanders. Let's do what it is that is not being done on talk radio, and let's have a conversation about what the Islanders are going through and what they're doing, which is why I wanted to create this platform so that you have a voice.
Yeah, because I want to give hockey more of a chance. I want to give soccer more of a chance. Two of my
exactly
sports, they don't get talked about. They should, but they don't.
Exactly, which is why I would say to you, your frustrations are I agree with you. You should be frustrated with the fact that you don't get enough love from a national standpoint. But this should also give you incentive to say, wow, this is what's going to make this show different. With fans like Doug, who love the Islanders, who love hockey. Yeah. Guys like Allen in D.C., who love soccer, who love hockey, who are willing to talk about it. With guys like Raven Zade, who loves his Canucks, this is why this platform was created. So while I get your frustration, 1,000%, I would personally stop listening to it, because when you want the most coverage you want, you don't get enough bang for your buck. You don't, and honestly, that's why I like to read. Because reading, that you gotta get thorough. If you're a reporter and you write, you can't just give me the short version or whatever it is that you feel. You have to write what you see and you have to express it, which is why I like sites like The Athletic and different publications that really get in depth with what this is supposed to be. So I understand you're frustrated. I get it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people just don't want to give it a chance either. Like hockey playoffs, people could argue with me, but it is the greatest playoffs in all sports. Like bar none, in my opinion. Like just the speed of the game, the excitement, it's just
That's an arguable point, which I won't argue on you right now because I don't want to turn this into a different show. But that's an arguable point. Do I enjoy the hockey playoffs? Yes, I do. I'm a fan. Listen. If you tell me hockey playoffs were now to the end of time and there's no regular season and I don't got to sit through the mind-numbing experience of 82 games, I'm with it. I'm with it. But it's hard for the general fan to say I'm going to sit through 82 games of hockey unless you love it. It's like baseball. I could sit through 162 games because I love the game and I know everybody in the league because I just don't watch the Yankees. I watch the Padres. I watch the Cardinals.
Same with me with hockey. I don't just watch the Islanders. I'll watch everybody.
I watch everybody because I want a clear-cut education on what is going on in.
Nah, James.
Look, we can debate what the best playoffs
your opinion,
are.
that's cool. Like football playoffs are awesome because there's only a few of them, right? Wild card, divisional round, the championship game, then the Super Bowl.
Right.
But hockey, it's just, and it's hard to compare those two because, like I said, there's only a limited amount. Like baseball, and hockey, you could compare. Basketball and hockey, you could compare because the series and all that stuff.
Look, at the end of the day, we're gonna get off this topic in 1 second. I just wanted to, get off, let you say your piece on it. I just think it's frustrating when, people are not willing to give something else a chance. Like, am I the biggest hockey fan in the world? No. But at least I'm willing to appreciate the skill level, the mental concentration, however hard it is to say, listen, I'm gonna skate. That's extremely hard. Lord knows I can't do it. You do it at a very amateur level and you enjoy doing it. But what those guys do, they're superhuman. It's not easy to do what they do. And that's why I respect the fact that you love it so much. So again, and we used to go back and forth on this, and I used to be upset with you. But the more I've gotten to know you, and the more I've gotten to get to, have these conversations with you, this is why this platform was created. So you don't have to go to New York Talk Radio. You don't have to go to ESPN.com. You don't have to go to Canadian radio. You can formulate your own opinion off of what you see. Because you're smart enough to say, okay, this is what I noticed. Like, I don't listen, not to be cocky, but their opinion's just like mine. They're no different than me. Granted, do they make money for what they do? Yeah. Do I respect their opinion because they've been doing it for a long time? Yes. But when you feel like your sport is being cheated,
certain on-air talent we respect, certain ones we don't. But
I'm at the point where I don't like anybody because they all start to sound the same. They all start to it runs together. If it's either football or it's basketball or it's this one or it's that one, and nothing.
Right, and it's redundant. It's always the same sport. Yeah, that's what I play in the league.
And I'm saying this. Look, if America didn't make it, we don't like it. It sucks to say it, but that's just the truth. We didn't create hockey, so we don't care. It's a Canadian sport. Let them have it. We didn't create soccer. It's the world's game. Let them have it. I disagree with that.
Just give it a chance. That's all I'm saying.
Stop.
I can't respect K. I can't.
Stop. Stop. That's funny. That's funny on multiple levels. That's funny on multiple levels because half the stuff that he talks about on his own show, I could have told you 2 weeks ago. But that's because if you pay attention to the sport, like you know more stuff than Kay. Like if you sat there and said, I'm gonna binge watch sports for 2 weeks, big dog, you would be able to do what Michael Kay does better than Michael Kay.
Oh yeah, I think I can now.
Exactly my point.
You think the same way. You think you can have his job.
I know I can have his job. I just don't want his job. Did I want to call these garbage Yankees right now? I'm out.
No, I'm saying the radio.
But that'd be boring too, because I don't have no freedom. Like, you know how much I wish they would talk about like more UFC fights, more boxing.
They do talk UFC and boxing, like when something's big's gonna.
Yeah, but that's only when something big happens. It's not. Overpaid Mike.
Pushing it.
All right, James. Yeah, that's funny. But no, in all seriousness, like I appreciate the fact that they've gotten to where they've gotten to. We both know how hard it is to get to where they are. But they are very limited in what they can speak on, what they can't speak on.
And that's the frustrating thing. Like, see, to me, if I'm a program director, I want to hear more of something of what my station should talk about, I'd let them talk about it more. Like, they're too. It bothers me that it's about ratings. It's about ratings.
It's about money.
People what they want to hear. Don't care
about. This is the thing. Yeah, but the ratings are what the people want to hear. People tune in for football. People tune in for.
There are a lot of the fans out there that want to hear about the Islanders. There's hockey fans out there that want to hear hockey.
I'm sure.
How much can you talk about? The garbage. Just the garbage teams in the city. Let's be real. Sure. Come on, man.
Right.
Jesus.
But this is why this platform exists.
This is why it exists. When they're talking Jets or football, but even I get sick of that. How much could I hear about it? Yeah, I wish the Jets still were at Hofstra and played in New York, but we can't get it always, you know.
At the end of the day,
as the Rolling Stones once said.
At the end of the day, you're in a position right now where you have the power to create your own show. This is what you're doing right now. You're creating your own content. So this is why. I mean, I disagree with that, but I understand where you're coming from, and you're entitled to have that opinion. And we're going to cover a lot of the NHL because I'm sitting next to one of the most smartest hockey people I know in the world. That's not hyperbole. Watch this kid break down a hockey game. It's like you're going to master's class for hockey. I'm not kidding. I'm serious.
The same with you in baseball. Oh, hold on. Quick story. Quick sidebar. Remember? Okay, one time back in our school days when we were at WKRB, and we were doing show prep or whatever, but we were talking baseball, and we were watching highlights. Me, Stephen, and a couple of other guys who did the show with us. Stephen's like, pause the video, pause it. So I pause it. The guy, don't remember the player or team, but basically he was about to swing the bat. Stephen takes the pen or marker, whatever you want to call it, starts drawing on like the guy's kneecap. You see what he did wrong there? He should have made this movement, or his elbows too. And we're sitting there like, this guy really studies it, like, but he knows his stuff about baseball.
Yeah. All right. You want to go sidebar for sidebar? I got an interesting story. So I'm watching a hockey game with this kid. This is in the house. This is right here. And he goes, yo, look at this a minute. And I'm like, all right, what am I looking at? So he goes, yo, look at the guy that's screening. And I'm like, okay. He's like, you see how he's standing in front of the net with the stick up? You see that? You see that? The stick blade up? You see? And I'm like, okay, what the? And then he proceeds to like literally point to the screen and go, you see where that shot's coming from? Look at how great he's positioned in proportion to the goalie. And I sat there and I was like, my mind was boggled. I was like, wow. Because he literally did that in like a millisecond, right as the goal was going in. He pointed it out to me, and I look at him and I'm like, that's genius. Because I've never heard nobody explain that in that type of way before. When he told me where the stick was supposed to be, where the goal was supposed, and I'm like, all right, you win. You win. And we watched the game on mute from that point on. And whenever I had a question, I would just ask him, and he would answer the question. And I'm like, this guy is, because for you to be able to do that in that moment and go, okay, this is what it is.
Sorry
That's
about
pretty
the ring.
impressive.
Stop in a minute.
That's pretty impressive stuff. So, Big Dog, you're not the only. I'm not the only one here with some smarts. You're one of the smartest, hockey people or hockey personalities I know, because you're a personality now. You got a radio. I mean, you got a live stream. We're members of the media now, whether we want to be or not. But this is what it is. And look, I love the fact that he's passionate about the sports he's passionate about, because that just makes my job easier. Because then we can sit here and talk about all this stuff and not feel like, but we're offending one person if we don't talk about this. Talk about everything.
Yeah.
It's the smorgasbord of sports. So, I mean, look. All right. And I'm going to even approach this Yankee thing a little differently than the radio is.
Okay.
Because everybody says the sky is falling, right? What if I told you the sky already fell and it can't get no worse from here? Sky fell.
A little
It
bit.
fell already. Here's the problem. I don't know if this team is as good as people are making them out to be. Hear me out on this a minute before you kill me. Okay? This team's a good team. But I said it to you at the beginning of the year. This team right now, and this is before we started playing games, I said this team is not good enough to win a World Series. Simply because I saw the holes. They hit way too many home runs. Their pitching is okay with Tanaka and Cole leading the rotation. I'm happy with that. Outside of that, can you tell me where I'm supposed to sleep comfortably at night?
I know the Yankees are your team, but I just got to ask this question because it just came to me. I don't know if it's a silly question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
No question's a silly question. Don't ever think that. Go ahead.
Do you think the Yankees are too heavy in star power in terms of there's so much high expectation? Like, it's great to have that line. I mean, my God. Like, you look on paper, it's insane. But do you think there's so much pressure, or guys are injury prone and people just don't look that deep into it? And people just sort of assumed, I mean, including myself, like, wow, they got Garrett Cole, they got Judge, and they got this. Oh, man, they forget it. They're going to win this year, or they're going to at least go to the World Series, or they're just this sick team, and it ain't fair because the Mets always sick, and the Yankees always get these great players.
And my response to you was always what? My response to you was always, hold on, wait a minute. Especially because you're one injury away, you're one bad stretch away from it, you all looking human. And this is where we're at. They're human right now. Granted, you got guys on the DL, but let me just run through something. The Yankees bullpen ERA in the last 19 games, it's almost 5.5. The bullpen, which is supposed to be the linchpin of this team, the ERA is 5.5. Wow. If I had told you ERA was 5.5 at the beginning of the year, you'd have been like, all right, I'll take a bet on that. Drinking game, you're going to get hammered way before I do, and you don't even drink. But you probably would have taken that bet because you probably – listen, look, end of the day, end of the day, two things sounded the alarm for me. And this was before last night. I watched the ending of the Yankee Met game that Friday night when you walked us off. And I said, yeah, there's problems in Denmark. We got issues here. Because the one part of the team that was supposed to be the strongest part of the team is the weakest. Their bullpen's terrible. The bullpen is atrocious. It's beyond hard. And like you're blowing it way out of proportion. No, I'm not. They're bad. Big dog. It took them. I'm no exaggerate. It took them 48 minutes in between outs last night. 48 minutes in real time, not 48 minutes in like. I mean, from 9:15 to 9:50 something, they didn't get an out. It was almost 10 o'clock before they got the second out. And I changed the channel like 3-4 times, and I turned it back, and they were still one out in the sixth inning. And I said, "Oh, this ain't good." And I'll say this: this is how you know there's panic. I mean, I panic anyway because I'm a miserable Yankee fan. I've said that many times on the show already. But Brian Cashman walks up and goes, "Hold up, wait a minute, I gotta go to Buffalo because this ain't good." When you got him going over there going, nah, this is not what I expect. That's a problem. Because he don't travel.
Won the fly up there. And
he drove.
Oh, drove. That's a good 8-hour drive.
He when I tell you, he doesn't go on road trips. He's not like Brody where Brody's always in the clubhouse and people want to hear from Brody. It's no what? You're right. You're right, man. You're right. Right now, they're overrated. You're not wrong.
They are.
I'm not even gonna sit there and argue that point. You're not wrong, bro. Oh, the Mets bullpen is they're literally having discussions of what bullpen's worse right now. And I think I'll take yours.
As the worst.
No, I take yours over mine right now.
Wow.
Give me the Met bullpen right now. I'll take them.
That's breaking news right there. Whoever thought you'd say that? Taking the Mets bullpen over the Yankees.
And mean it.
I know you do.
Yankee bullpen is a disaster. Dougie, thank you for hopping on, man.
Thank you, Dougie. Let's go on this. We'll get him tomorrow.
It's just rough, man. It's rough. It's not something that I would think I'd be saying, yeah, the Phillies are hotter than oh my God, are they hot? Yeah. So look, and that's why for me, everybody's all the sky is falling. No, the sky already fell. The sky already fell. There's no way but up from here. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna say something atrocious. Yankee fans may crucify me at the stake for this statement. If they miss the playoffs, it's not the worst thing in the world. And you're probably thinking, well, why? Wow, that's kind of bold of you to say. You know why? Because you know who you'd have to play in the best of 3 right now? Tampa. Do I want any of that Tampa smoke? Nope.
You think it'd be a sweep?
We wouldn't even win a game. We wouldn't win a game. Tampa would listen. They'll mop the floor with us, dry out the mop, come back again and mop it again. They'll go around Yankee Stadium about 4 times to mop in a bucket. We won't win a game. They're that bad. And this is my team. I watch them every day. Listen, and I said this to Ange yesterday. Shout out to my brother Ange. He was like, oh, you're nuts. The Mets are more fun to watch right now. The Mets. I'd watch the Mets right now. Right now. Give me 9 innings of Mets baseball. Because even if you guys lose, I'm entertained. I'm entertained. I'm good. You can lose from now to the end of the year. You know they almost came back and won yesterday. They were down 6-1, and they almost came back and won. I was like, see, that right there is what I need and what I'm not getting and why I'm miserable. And granted, I'm miserable anyway, but this is like a more pronounced version of miserable. I was talking to Emilio yesterday. Shout out to Big Spanish. And he said to me, he said, yo, they haven't been this bad since Stump Maryland 91, 92. And I was like,
And Emilio's good with his Yankee history, so.
yeah, he was like, yo, we haven't been this bad. Yo, we had 77 wins in 91. I'm like,
damn. That is
basically saying we suck, yes.
That's horrendous.
So I got off my Yankee soapbox, but I'm not very happy with the boys in the boogie down right now. Not very happy at all.
I don't blame you.
Not happy. But speaking of not being happy, you can't be happy after last night. And notice I didn't text you during the game because I'm like, this guy he's seething. He's blowing multiple gaskets. He's yelling at the television. Can I frame a couple questions before you get on your rant? Because I'm very curious. Game 7. Having to play the extra 2 games. Then having to spend your off day flying across Canada. What effect do you think it has? I'm very curious on your thoughts on this.
It definitely had an effect, and I'm not making an excuse. I just believe that's what happened. I mean, if you watch, and I watched majority of the game until it got to 6-1, then I shut it off. But I mean, the fact that Tampa had almost a week off because they beat Boston in 5 games. They've been in Edmonton way longer than we have, so they were fully rested, and you can tell when they hit the ice, they were ready to go. I mean, the Braden Point goal in the first minute or two passes right by Ryan Pulock. When do you ever see Ryan Pulock just let somebody by? Like, from there, it just got worse and worse, and it spiraled out of control.
Right.
And last night, Tampa Bay was just – they were fresher. They were ready. The Islanders were not. They were slow and tired. I mean, how, first of all, why did – again, I don't know. This is just the way Gary Bettman had it set up and the NHL had it set up. But to me, why did the Eastern teams have to go – if you're going to have the Cup in Edmonton, all right, cool. But why did the Eastern teams have to go from Toronto to Edmonton to play the conference finals? I really don't understand it.
They probably did that so that if the teams in the West that were there already didn't have to do a crazy amount of travel. And it basically allows for you to be more stationary. And if all you have to do is travel, 2 teams have to travel instead of you having to travel to Toronto. Because Toronto, they were having issues with that arena. Remember, the ice was really bad.
Yeah.
And they were having issues with, playing multiple games. And so I think they did it.
One game, every other day. I think they should have played it out in Toronto, Tampa Islanders, and then if you want to have the final in Edmonton, then okay.
Right.
But I really think there was absolutely no need to have Tampa and the Islanders go to.
What do you think? Why do you think they did that?
I really don't. I've been trying to think that through, why they chose that. I'm really not sure. But
that's I don't know.
And the game, it was perfect last night. But if I'm Barry, I'm the players, and a lot of their quotes, I read them. We retweeted them on our page, on Twitter page. Just throw the tape out, garbage. All right, forget
Burn it.
Yeah, burn it. Let it go and move on to tomorrow night. Because I think they didn't even practice today. I think Barry just wanted them to chill out, rest, and
So can I ask you a real legitimate question?
yeah.
Do you think Tampa is that much better than them? Because Donnie had a very interesting point on the K show. I did hear this on the K show, and I want to get your thoughts. From what he made it sound like you guys were overmatched. Do you buy that notion or no?
No.
Now, is that you being an Islander fan, or is that you
No.
looking at it
The way
realistically?
the Islanders have been playing, they could beat anybody.
Right.
Anybody. Now, is Tampa a great team? Yeah, they're fast. They're physical. They got skill all over. They have a goaltender who's, I mean, you could say top 5 in the league. But
Right.
the Islanders can beat this team. It's a matter of, again, sticking to their system and scoring goals.
Right.
Because if they do not score a lot of goals, then it's going to be really hard to win this series.
Yeah, because Tampa can score. Tampa scores in waves.
You've seen every series so far with the Islanders. They've been scoring 3 or more goals in a lot of these games.
Yeah. Watching Tampa, you know who Tampa reminds me of? Tampa reminds me of 2 teams. They remind me of the Rams, the greatest show on turf. The way they score easy. It's almost like, all right, we'll fart around with you for a little while, but we score easy. So we ain't worried about it. And then I look at a guy like Victor Hedman, who has the size to stay with Barzal. Barzal is going to have to create chances, and this is where if you're the Islander, I can't do that.
James.
I can't do that. If the Islanders win this series, it's going to have to be in 7. Because honestly, just by watching the highlights, it looks like Tampa's a bit more explosive. It looks like they have a little bit more in the tank. Where with the Islanders, we always talk about the same 3 or 4 guys. Barzal, Pajot, Eberle. Like, it's all good that we talk about those guys, but we need other guys to step up. Like, I need to see more from Cizikas.
Like in Game 7, right? Look who's 2 defensemen scored goals. That's huge. Like, you need defensemen to score. You need the 3rd and 4th line guys to score, which you have been getting. Now you just need that to keep going, because if that fizzles out, then then you got to rely on like the top line, like you said, Eberle, the Lees, the Pajots.
And you don't want to keep relying on the same line, because then Tampa, Shattenkirk, you have
Nikita Kucherov, Braden Point, Victor Hedman could score.
Right. And Steven Stamkos is not playing in the series, but he will be back for the Cup if they get there, though. So imagine if Steven Stamkos was even 80% of what we know he is. That's what I'm saying. Where if I look at the Islanders, do they have the firepower to match up with them one-on-one?
And they have to slow them down, too. They have to manage to slow them down. Because if Tampa outskates them, then it becomes tough. But the Islanders can be fast. They can match up with Tampa, but they're gonna have to just play the way they've been.
If you're Barry, what's the first thing you do?
In terms of what?
Do you want a goalie change? Do you think there's a goalie change in the offense?
I mean, I think, and he said it numerous times, and the players have, that they have equal trust in both goalies. So thank God there's really never a need for like a goalie controversy like you got in Vegas. Although, I mean, you haven't heard about it in Vegas since that stupid tweet got sent out.
Which is absolute idiotic.
I don't know yet who they're starting tonight. The game starts at 8, but why they went with Fleury in Game 1 after that amazing performance by Leonard in Game 7, who knows? But anyway, that's another story. But I think after the way Grice started, maybe you go back to Varlamov. You go to the guy who started the playoffs for you and has played consistently. And not that Grice hasn't when he's gotten the call, because he definitely has stepped up huge. But That seems to be the role he's in right now, and he thrives in that role. Like when Barry needs him for a game or to come in and sub in for Varlamov and, only give up one goal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
you go with volley.
Yeah.
All right. I gotta be honest with you, man. And I don't mean to say this to upset you. I look at Tampa and I'm like, yo, Tampa, they just look like they're head and shoulders above the Islanders. Can the Islanders make it a run? Can they make a run for it? Yeah, because in hockey, anything is possible. But it just looks like Tampa's head and shoulders above the Islanders. They just got more weapons. They can score from so many different places. Where if Taves scores, is a miracle. If Bailey scores, is a miracle. If Leo scores, is a miracle. Like with Tampa, you look at it. You got Shattenkirk. You got the guys you mentioned, and I'm like Kuznetsov and this one, and then I'm like
Kucherov. Yeah.
I mean,
that is that Elliot Friedman tweeted this out until very, very late in the third period was when Tampa Bay actually missed a shot on goal. Like from the game till the time the game started, all the way up until that point, like with 2 minutes left in the third, they were shooting. All their shots were on target.
Wow. That's bonkers. That alone is like true. See the remote? True. That's how bonkers that's crazy. And if you're the Islanders, I'm sorry, but for the love of all things, like for the love of your sanity, because I don't need you going mental over this. But can you hit somebody? Can you check somebody?
Can you play some physical hockey? Last night, can you, for the love of God, push whoever is screening you out of the way? Even Varley or Grice, whoever's goalie that night, push it. Not, I wish they could do the Billy Smith, you can't do that no more.
Oh, child block right to the knee with the stick.
You got to actually push. You're allowed to do that as a goalie, especially if they're close to your crease. Shove them out of the way.
Yo, sports got soft.
Sports
got soft.
Hockey's not that soft.
But I think it would be dope if the goalie was like, hey, yo, get out of here, bro.
Yeah, Billy Smith, mental case. Yeah, used to chop block guys in the back of the knee with the stick. Hit him in the shin piece. Yeah, get out of here. Yeah. In the kneecap.
What are you doing?
He didn't care.
What are you doing, fam? What's wrong with you?
Get out of my Somebody shove him out of the way, for God's sakes. A lot of their goals last night was screen goals.
There you go.
And as I explained to you in that story you told there, he was directly in front of the goalie. And that is a recipe for a goal.
And they don't do it. They hardly do it. When the Islanders screen somebody and they score a goal, it's like you want to run around. You want to run around the room.
People have seen it.
Are you kidding me? It's being done to you, and yet
the other thing that bothers me too, like they'll try and screen or they'll be in front, but they're not in front of the goalie. They're like to the side. They're to the side. And even I have that habit sometimes, but then I try and get out of it, or my teammates will go, yo, we'll get the puck to you, but stand directly in front. I'm like, all right, cool.
Well, you got it.
And that's what helps. And then my team scores when I play in my hockey league.
Thank you. Listen, because
I'm sorry to cut you off again, but just being on the side, you're still giving the goalie vision. Now, it's great if you have the stick down on the ice or your stick in the air, as I demonstrated to you that time watching the game, but you got to be directly in front. Like,
yo, if it goes off a skate, it's going in. Because, look, you and I both know the goalie can't react to two things at once. So it's either
Right.
we're gonna look at either high shot. He's either gonna go high side off me. He's gonna go. You can't do two things at once. So
No.
if you're leaning a little bit and the guy's stick is right there, or the skate of the blade is right there, you gotta go.
I mean, listen, if you get hit with a shot, you'll shake it off and be fine in 5-10 minutes. You'll live.
But here's the thing: how many times do you see it goes off the skate where you're just like, hold up, it just shot off my skate and it went in. If you do that, I know it hurts. You're putting your body in harm's way. You're getting shot with a puck. It doesn't feel good. And I don't know what that's like. You can speak about it more than me.
I've gotten hit before.
But
never by a slap shot, luckily, and at least not yet. Hopefully, knock on wood, that don't happen. But I've been hit by like a hard wrist shot or a couple times. It hurts, but I get right back in there and do it again in front again. That's what you got to do.
And then here's the other thing, too. When you get power plays against Tampa, you got to take advantage of it.
Yeah. Oh, the power play looked. Oh, my God. What's
Johnny
up?
Boy? Like, look, you power play. All right, can I make this analogy for you folks that are watching Big Dog? Let me see if you agree with this.
Yeah.
Power play in hockey are like free throws in the NBA. You get fouled, you get hit, you get a penalty, you gotta score on those. You gotta score. That's like leaving 3 points at the line or on the ice. You gotta score on those because one thing Tampa's gonna do, they're gonna score on those.
Or when you have runners in scoring position, and you don't, or when you're in the red zone in football and you don't score like the Jets do.
Listen, I seen a crap ton with the Browns last year. You know how many times the field goal kicker came on? I'm like, for the love
That annoys me. Oh my God! Right,
all that is.
You're like right there. Oh my God! I want to throw something like I.
And then it's the same way over and over and over again. It's the same way. Oh yeah, we covered the Yankees early in the show, Skip. It's the same thing. It's you yell this all the time. Yo, shoot it from the point. Shoot it from the point. Shoot it from the point. Scream. Shoot it from the point. Scream. I feel like when I watch a game with you, it's like a redundant cycle of just.
I know, and you're probably like, could he just stop saying it? But they don't do it. Now they have done it at times throughout the play, but I still scream it when they don't do it. You gotta do it all the time.
All the good teams, they do it all the time, and this is the thing. The good teams know when opportunity strikes, we have to take advantage of it. Like, you know how many times during this run watching the Yankees, I'm like, bro, we're not scoring, we're running the scoring period. Like, they're giving it back away, big dog. They're giving it back away. And you know me, I'm like psychotic. I'm like, yo, can somebody like
all right, because you watched the whole run too with the Mets. Remember in 2015 the times where they would like not score with running in the World Series. They had runners on, would never score. Oh my God!
Oh, I had to drive you nuts.
Yeah,
I had to drive you nuts.
You got to take advantage.
Because who knows when you – and here's the thing. And I don't mean to be the like jinx or the bearer of bad news, but even you have said this. Who knows when you're getting back? Yeah. So when you don't take advantage and you say, all right, we're going to be back, you got to go now. Tampa's not giving you nothing for free. You got to go now. You got to go now. And if I'm Barry, yes, I don't show the tape. I don't do that because I don't want to demoralize them even more. But you got to be thinking in the back of your mind, oh, no, man. The simple things that we've talked about, their defensive game plan, the structure of the defensive game plan was non-existent from puck drop last night.
Yep.
From puck drop. They weren't getting in the seams. They weren't checking at the blue line. They weren't being physical against the boards. They weren't doing anything.
They look like The Walking Dead out there. They had no life.
And this is why. Let me ask you a question. And I don't mean to, again, I don't mean to do this to you, but you were worried about this. This is, you said, yo, we can't let this go to a game 7. We can't. And I think this is one of the reasons why. Because you said, damn, Tampa's probably waiting for us.
Because we could think back. They ended in 5. Then the next night, I think we played, the night after them. We had an opportunity to close it out. We didn't. I'm like, all right.
Right.
Game 6. Didn't do it then. Because if they ended it in 5, just like Tampa did, we would have been halfway over with the series already. Because it's not like normal playoffs. They're not wasting time. Like a day or two later, that's when you're starting. You're not waiting
for the series. There's no travel.
Yeah.
You don't have to travel. And honestly, it's mind-numbing. It's mind-numbing when you see – look, this is why I enjoy Western Conference hockey. Can we get into this a second? Because I want your thoughts. Western Conference hockey, they do the little things. They screen the man in front of the net. They make 3-4 passes on a power play, shoot. 2 or 3 passes on a power play, shoot. This one on a power play, shoot. They shoot. They don't hold the puck for 60 years. Blase, blah, blase, blah. Let's just hold the puck. Yeah. They shoot. And I know I'm saying it a lot, but you yell this about 4 times, about 10 times a period. Not a game, a period. And then in the overtimes, there was no way you had to be in that overtime the other night. I don't mean to bring it back up, but those extra games is what could cost you this series. And I don't want to be that guy, but you in the back of your mind got to be thinking, damn, did we just blow our chance playing 2 extra meaningless games that should have been over from the jump, but we played around with it?
Over in a sweep. Or 5 games. It should have never gotten to 6 or 7 games. It really shouldn't have.
No, because even when you won 4-0. That was the most dominating game they played in the playoffs.
And in game 1, we blew them out 4-0.
There you go. So you knew there was something there. You know that got to be so friggin' beyond frustrating. So beyond frustrating. Because I'm like, yo, are you kidding me right now? Like, you know what I would do if I had the first of all, and they haven't played their best game yet. Like Barry's been saying it all playoffs. We haven't put a whole 60-minute game together.
No, he's right.
And I'm sorry, but against Tampa, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to against Tampa.
Every game, yeah.
Yeah. 4. Listen, you want stats? I'll give you stats. They've been to 4 of the last 5 conference finals. 4 out of 6, I think the number. 4 out of 6 conference finals. You already know we're facing a team that's been here multiple times. They have Stanley Cup experience. They've been here. We can't afford to get down early. It's like, I use this analogy. It's like, bro, you know, and I know, football against good teams, you can't commit penalties. Can't do this. And what are your team famous for? And what is my team famous for? The stupidest, mind-numbing penalties in the history of God's green earth.
Oh my God! Tell me about.
And I'm like, no wonder why they suck. No wonder why. No wonder why. Because you get moments like this, you get games like this, you get situations like this, and you're like, for the love of God, can we fix this? Can we fix this, please?
Super frustrating.
Real quick, let's get into this football stuff. And I got to ask you about the A-Rod stuff. I got to ask.
Oh, God.
I got to ask. All right, football stuff. DeAndre Hopkins, nice extension for himself. 2 years, $54 million, 42 of that guaranteed. That's a nice contract.
It is.
Kareem Hunt, contract extension with the Browns, 2 years, $13 million. Very happy about that.
I'm sure.
Very, very happy. Very happy about that. Here's the interesting one, though. Alvin Kamara and the Saints are closing in on a very quote-unquote lucrative extension to keep him in New Orleans for the remainder of his career. Interesting.
Very.
What do you make of, number one, the DeAndre Hopkins extension? What do you make of everything that is going on in the NFL right now?
It's just interesting, like all at the same time, right? All these big deals are coming down. Last week, Jadeveon Clowney going to the Titans. Like all these big time players are getting huge extensions.
Right.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I've really seen this happen in a sport where just constantly, like every day, guys are getting, this one's getting an extension. That one, Deshaun Watson got the extension.
Right.
Crazy.
Mahomes. Here's the question I got for you. You just mentioned the two names that I want to lead into. So Mahomes gets extended. What's his name? Mahomes gets the extension. We just saw Deshaun get paid.
Yep.
What does it mean? What does it mean for Dak? Okay. What does it mean for Dak? That's the first thing. Because does Dak get the extension from Dallas? Does Dallas pony up the money, or does he get it elsewhere? Okay. And here's the other question. What does it mean for Lamar when it's time for Lamar Jackson to get extended? Where does it put both of those guys in terms of future contract talks? I'm very intrigued with how both these teams in Dallas and the Ravens go about doing this. What do you think about that? Because I'm fascinated by it, to be honest with you. Especially the Dak thing, because we all know that Dallas is tripping.
Yeah, I think eventually, I think Dak's going to leave, like next year, if he balls out.
And they got the weapons?
Yeah.
Dallas got the weapons now. This is the thing. I'm very intrigued with the Ravens, because the Ravens, you got to take care of Lamar. You can't be tripping on Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson got to get his money, and he got to get it soon. Well, whether you think Dak is overrated or not, that doesn't mean he don't deserve his money. He's put up numbers. He deserves his money. Pay him his money.
You have a right to your opinion, though, Skip. I love Dak. I think Dak's better than a lot of people think, but some people think he's overrated.
I don't think he's overrated. I just think he's in a bad spot. I think Dak's in a bad spot. I think Dallas is a bad spot.
Very.
You put Dak with the Browns. You don't think I feel better about my championship chances with Dak Prescott as my quarterback?
Sure you do.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and all right, we got to get to the Joe D comments. And then we got to get to A-Rod. What do you think of the Joe Douglas comments with the Jets? Okay,
I'm not totally shocked. I mean, that's what a GM's going to do. He's going to defend his guys. He's going to defend his team. Is he wrong? Yeah, I think the Jets, that whole 6-2 run at the end of last year is bogus, in my opinion, as a Jet fan. I don't take that into this year going, oh, man, we're going to be a playoff team. We're going to be – no, we still stink. Now, can Sam improve because of this old line Joe D built? Yeah. But who's he throwing to? You got a 90-year-old running back in Frank Gore and then Le'Veon Bell, who you barely use. So what are you going to do?
He mentioned Chris Herndon, and I forgot Chris Herndon was even on the team.
Yeah, he's still there.
So I'm like, all right, you mentioned Chris Herndon. That's one option. Jamison Crowder he's throwing to?
Who's at least number 3 at best.
On a good team, he's a number 3.
Yeah.
So, Jamison Crowder, you got Chris Herndon, you got Le'Veon Bell, you got. Can you name me some outside weapons? Like, can you name me any other outside weapons on the New York Jets and give the Jets fans?
They got the guy that they drafted, Denzel Mims, but we don't know what he really is yet. He hasn't played an NFL snap, right? So
Right. Right.
the Jets are just a disaster, man. They're a disaster.
So let me ask you this question.
Sure.
Do you think that Joe D eventually says, all right, we got to get offensive weapons in here? You know you got to get offensive weapons in
You
here.
have to.
And here's the thing. He was saying that what, pandemic permitting, the salary cap may go down from 198 million to $175.
Right.
That's three friggin' significant blows right there. You're going down from 198 to $175. That's that's a big blow, especially when you're looking at free agency to be a part of your team. And I'm not saying that it has to be Chris Hogan. I forgot about him.
From New England.
I forgot about him. But look, if you're the Jets, I think the statement he made yesterday was irresponsible, saying that people are overlooking the Jets. What do we have to look forward to if you're a Jet fan? I mean, realistically speaking, what do both New York teams have to look forward to? And then the whole thing with Joe Judge about finally naming the captain. What hit you? You woke up and something hit you in the head telling you got to name captains?
Yeah, he's another.
Are we serious with this garbage?
Both New York teams just are bad. They're in rebuilding.
Oh, Lord. Oh.
And as Joe V said, you gotta get Adam Gase out of there. If you want the Jets to improve, bro, Adam Gase has gotta go.
That's because nobody respects the guy.
But now, probably not, because knowing the Jets, they'll have some kind of a decent record. Oh, Gase did.
Nah, I'm out.
Guy gotta go.
And look, but this is the problem, though. If you fire Adam Gase, and we both agree he's not the guy, that's even more of a disruption to Sam's growth. That'll be 3 head coaches since he's been with the Jets. 3 head coaches since he's been with the Jets.
Yeah, man.
That's not good. Normal organizations don't do this. You know that, right? You know that. You're Jet boy. I say that affectionately. This is not good for him. He's perplexed. He's perplexed. He doesn't even know what to do. He's perplexed. And then look, I appreciate the fact that both teams are trying, but it's going to be fun being a New York football fan, and I say that with all the sarcasm in the world. Yo, by like week 15, you're going to be like, all right, I'm out. Even before that, maybe.
Yeah.
Even before that, maybe.
They could, yeah.
By like week 4, you're gonna call me and be like, "Yo, so is it hockey season again? Because I'm out."
Yeah.
Emilio said something yesterday. I was flabbergasted by this. He says, "Yo, with the way the Giants and the Yankees are looking, I'm looking forward to the Knicks. This is how bad we've fallen. He's looking forward to the Knicks. The Knicks are the saving grace for us right now. The Knicks."
And even that, you don't have much to look forward to.
No! You don't! Yo, listen, there's been rumors about, should you chase Giannis? No, you shouldn't! No! If I hear a Knicks fan mention the name Giannis, if the syllable yawn comes out of somebody's mouth, I'm verbally going to assault them. I'm verbally going to annihilate them. I'm going to destroy them. For all that is holy, the Knicks are what we got to look forward to. The Knicks. God. Yeah, New York sports. Sure, yeah, I'll play along. I'll play along. Are you kidding me? Oh, let's not get to the disaster in Queens with A-Rod and J-Lo.
What I tell you?
You hear about?
What I tell you?
So Cohen, this is the thing. Cohen has the bid. Cohen has the highest bid. But this is what A-Rod and J-Lo are trying to pull. They're trying to make her the minority owner so it goes smoother. Here's the problem with that. Steve Cohen's worth $14 billion. So your $2.35 billion offer, that's cute. Cute. But he could take your 2.35 and go buy a yacht like now. And be like, yo, I just spent like $2 billion on like 4 houses, 10 cars, and a boat. What's gooch? You really want this billionaire smoke, fam? Like, you want this smoke? Do you want this smoke? No, you don't. And then I love, but it'll be good for the Latino bread, the Latina bread. Like, no, don't do that. Don't make it a racial thing. Don't do that. Fact of the matter is, you're not rich enough to buy the team. Bow out gracefully. Stop fighting. Steve Cohen's a Met fan. He's gonna look. Is Steve Cohen gonna be the perfect owner? No, because there is no perfect owner. But at least you know he's rich enough that if you see a Frankie on the market, he'll go spend the money.
And he knows
and he won't care. Yes. You don't think it crushed him when they traded Seaver? He was probably in his Met pajamas going, Mommy, why? You might have some forever Mets. This might actually happen for you. You might have some forever Mets for the first time in your life.
Who I love, but
oh God. Listen, when all you got to look back on is David Wright with spinal stenosis, the way it ended, Ed Kranepool,
my
Mike Piazza.
Time, Mike Piazza didn't even end his career here. To me, he's
Thank
still
you.
ultimately, and he went in the Hall of Fame as a Met, but he didn't end his career here.
Big Dog's like, yo, can you help a brother out? Because I'm dying. Can you help me? Can you help me out? This is not good. It's not good. It's not good at all. And if the Mets are smart, don't play the shenanigans. Don't deal with these two buffoons. Don't deal with them. Oh, she'll be the sole owner. A-Rod will just be making the baseball decisions. Nah. And from what I'm hearing, Fred don't want to deal with A-Rod. Fred wants Cohen because Cohen got the more money. They can't even make a sale right. You can't even sell the team right. Oh. You know what? Give me him. I'll buy him.
That's what I've been saying, but that's too much for me. That right. I can't handle the stress. You love it being their own, I think. Yeah, it would be stressful, but you'd be...
I'd die. You kidding me? I'd die. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Kathy. Why are we playing these reindeer games? Can somebody explain this to me for the love of God? Why? What are we doing with this? So, yeah, we're going to play along with your shenanigans. Sure, we'll play along with you. You don't have the capital to get this done. Steve Cohen's a billionaire. You know what a billionaire is? Multi-billionaire. Oh, yeah, I'll play along. Sure, I'll play along with you. That makes sense for me. You gotta be, yo, big dog. He texted me yesterday, the other night, when I broke the Cohen news. He's like, "Are you sure? Are you sure this is gonna happen? Because it's typical Mets. You get to like the 10-yard line, you think, all right, we're gonna ready to punch this in. The misery's gonna be over, and then what happens? Lightning strikes. Lightning strikes, and Steve Cohen dies of a lightning strike. Yeah, the hope gone, finished. I hope. Knock on wood. I hope that doesn't happen. But what? Who does this? Or who allows this? Help me, big dog. Help me. You're the Met fan. Help me here.
Typical Mets, man. I told you to watch out for it. I wasn't discounting your journalistic abilities to report, but you had to think in the back of your head, yeah, they're going to find some way to screw this up. Or something's going to...
Somebody brought up a good point to me, too, and Donnie reiterated on the K show. Owners may not want Cohen to come in here because he's too rich.
Yeah.
He may blow through the salary cap and be like, we don't care. We got the money. Can you imagine if owners reject him because he's too rich? And then you really get stuck with A-Rod and J-Lo? Can you imagine that? Kathy, can you imagine that, Kathy? You already want to think about it.
That'd be crazy.
Yo, big dog, Big dog would be just when I thought it was all good. They scar me. They scar me again for life. Yo, this moribund franchise. Are you kidding me with this garbage?
What's up, Zach?
Zach, what's up, brother? Are you... Look, no!
I hope it works out, but if it doesn't, I really wouldn't be shocked. I hate to say it.
Oh, man. We're good, man. We're good.
Going by the Jets instead, if it don't work out, oh my God, imagine.
If Steve Cohen bought the Jets, you'd be running laps around your house.
Yeah!
Look. Just a mere mention of Steve Cohen buying the Jets.
Out of there. That's why this franchise can't win nothing.
Well,
I mean,
I can give you another couple reasons, but
that's one of the biggest ones. But
I mean, can you can't get this more wrong. You really can't get this more wrong. You really can't. They can't. There's no way they blow this.
Yeah, but he's Yankee boy, though. He loves the Yankees. He was a former Yankee. I can't have that in my franchise. I can't.
But here's the thing. You think owners will look at that kindly? A guy that did steroids, cheated the game the way he did? You think owners will be like, we want this guy in our ranks?
Ponds. It is what it is.
And honestly, many people don't care if he buys them. That's not the problem, which is why they're giving sole possession to J-Lo. Yo, you can't get any worse than New York sports as a whole right now. You can't get any worse than this.
Except the Islanders.
That's the only hope. That's the saving grace. Are you kidding me with this? And then to think, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
There are 9 teams in the area, and most of them are in disarray.
Right. And now, but I think the Yankee disarray is different because I think that can be fixed with a winning streak and you know.
The Islanders are where they're at. The Brooklyn Nets are on the rise. I mean, we'll see how the Nash hiring goes. I don't know.
Look, that might work out, but here's the problem. If you're hiring exclusively for Kevin Durant to appease him and make him happy, This is already done. You already failed. If you're hiring Steve Nash to make Kevin Durant happy, can we just end this thing? Can we just end the experiment now? Can we please?
Right.
So you're letting Steve Nash run? You're letting Kevin Durant run your organization, and he hasn't even stepped on the court once. He hasn't played one game, and that he's running the organization.
Sounds like Adam Gase.
I gotta do the joke, bro.
He won the power struggle.
This can't be a power struggle, bro.
You let him win, Adam Gase, bro.
He played, him and Kyrie combined and played 20 games, and they got a coach fired. What? What, yo?
Peyton Manning's coffee boy. That's the Jets coach.
He called me. Whoop-de-doo. He called me. Look at him. Look.
The Jets could have had Mike McCarthy as their head coach. What did they get? This garbage at this guy who I can't even get my words together. It's so like it makes no sense.
Oh my God! Look at him! Look. You can't even speak.
I've been suffering for years as a Jet fan. It's got to stop.
They broke Big Dog. They've broken him. They've broken Big Dog. Look at this. They broke him. This is crazy.
I've seen a lot with this team, but
and then the dysfunction just continues, and I'm like, when is it gonna end?
They do it the same way every single time.
It's the same thing with the Knicks. You know they already printed Giannis jersey. They're doing this already. Giannis billboard by the Garden. They're gonna have a Greek night at Madison Square Garden next year. Oh man. You got anything else to say? You want to say anything else?
I don't know. All I know, let's go Islanders. We got to win tomorrow. Got to win. You don't want to go down 0-2. You got to win tomorrow night.
That's Big Dog passionate plea. Win for him, please.
Win.
Because if you don't,
you're my only saving grace in sports, New York Islanders. You're my only.
Because Lord knows he's not looking forward to the Jets. Lord knows.
Once the Islanders come on at 3:00 Sunday, I'm turning that channel off. I'm watching Islanders over the Jets. Absolutely, playoffs.
Yeah.
But
as you should.
Weekend, not for nothing. Premier League starts Saturday, football starts Thursday, and then the full slate of games Sunday.
Right.
Baseball's getting in a pennant race. Hockey playing almost the finals in both sports, which is weird to have the NBA and Stanley Cup final in September.
But it's kind of beautiful though.
It's cool.
You got everything.
Get all this right.
You get the schmag is bad. The schmag is bad. We get
schmag is bad.
A little bit of everything in there. We'll preview the NFL games, the weekend's games. You know, probably Wednesday we'll do that. Tomorrow we'll go over the NFL games for you. What games you're looking forward to?
Texans. Then Friday maybe we'll do a big football show.
All right, I'm with that.
Got it.
Oh, real quick.
Go ahead.
I tweeted this on the show's Twitter page, and I wanted your reaction to this. So the ACC in college is getting ready to start football season, like their fall sports. I don't know how to feel about this, man. I'm kind of like.
I don't get it. Not shocking.
I'm not. I don't know how to feel about this, but I understand it. Hopefully, all these kids are okay and nobody ends up getting affected with
Absolutely. It's
COVID.
scary because certain colleges are seeing a rise in cases.
Right. Scary stuff, man. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. That's gonna wrap us up for tonight. This was a great show.
It
For all
was.
the people that watched, thank you. Share the show, comment, and let's keep this train moving. I'm Stephen Martinez. That's Nicholas Gambaro. And as they say, we bid you adieu.